Today we're checking out the Fractal Audio AxeFx II. The Fractal Audio AxeFx II was the modeling unit which I liked most before I got the AxeFx III. And still until today I'm a big fan of the Fractal Audio products. Although there are competitors on the market which are really coming close or are even better in some aspects, at least sound wise. So here's the editor, and currently I'm playing a preset which I created. I made a tone match of the newer DSP Pliny sound which I like. Tone matching in the Fractal Audio products is basically some kind of EQ matching, as far as I understand. So you are creating an IAR which you can use then together with an amp model here. And I'm also using a delay here in that preset and an enhancer block which is creating the widener effect. But let's turn that off to show you how it sounds. Just the amp cap and a little bit of reverb. Very nice. As you can see, I don't use a boost block here, drive block or something, just the boost engaged in the amp section. No EQing here. And if we disengage this, we have a nice crunch tone. Also very usable. Let's try to engage the chorus. Dimension C chorus. Still the same amp model. By the way, the input trim is raising the overall signal that is coming from the guitar. If we reduce the drive here, cutting off the lows. By the way, you don't have the actual scenes feature here in this unit, or you have the scenes feature, sorry, here we have 8 scenes, but you don't have the ability to well, save 4 different types within one block like in the AxeFx III. Instead you have only X and Y well, I don't know how they call it, X and Y version of within one block, where you could assign different amps here. For example, we can choose maybe the let's see, maybe some Fenderish amp. And then you can choose from X and Y, where or assign the X or Y to the scene. So already very flexible with these 8 scenes. Still until today, I think there are not that many modeling units which offer 8 scenes. The newer DSP quad Cortex, of course the newer Fractal audio products. But the Hotone Ampero Stage 2 has only 5 scenes, I think. Anyway, so let's play around a little bit with that. I also have the global block feature here. You can save one setting of a block to global slot and then use it in different presets, which can be confusing, can be helpful, depending on how you use your unit, but makes it also very flexible. I used to use it a lot. Okay, in the delay section we have one of my favorite delays, which is 2290. Nice modulation delay. You can also set it to stereo here or to ping pong mode. The config section. Each delay has these, I think, the ducker function and an EQ where you can cut off the highs if it's too much for your taste. For example, if you would like to create a little bit of a background ambience, you can cut the highs of the delay. Then your leads are not affected that much. It was already there in the version 2. So of course in the version 3 it's there. I think in the version 1 they also had similar settings. The effects are kick-ass. So here you could see just the reverb effects you have in this unit. Lone Plate is one of my favorites. Whitehall is also very nice. Without the enhancer. By the way, they had the mod and the classic mode here. Where the classic mode is more or less the widener, you know. And the other effects, they are also sounding kick-ass. You have the multi-band compression here, which you can use to well, reduce the lows when chugging. Everything which you know from my Fractal videos maybe, which I was showing using the FM9 mostly. It was already there in the version 2. And of course in the delay section you have way more delays here. Ambient, stereo delays. They all sound kick-ass. Here we have all the effects and amps. We will check out some amps in a second, but yeah, you have the chorus, compressors, delay drive, everything you may need. You have a looper, I think, a synth, tone match block, was pitch shifting. It works really perfect in my opinion. Harmonization, but you have only well, you have 4 graphic EQ blocks which you can add, but I think only 2 drive blocks, 2 delays, 2 choruses. So the power consuming things, you can only add 2 blocks, which is enough I think for most scenarios, given the fact that you have the X and Y version within 1 block. So in total 4 different settings of 1 effect within 1 preset. The EQs are the best EQs think, out of all the modeling units. They work like they should, in my opinion, and they're always the benchmark for me. There are some other decent EQs modeling units, but I think here these are the best EQs, at least in my opinion. Okay, and you have, of course, the shitload of amps which you may expect from Fractal. Here you have only 266, a little less than in the Fractal Audio AxeFx III, but anyway, more than you would ever need, I think. And also in the cab section, currently I'm using, as I said, the tone match. So you have your user slots here, 100 slots where you can add your own IRs, and then you have the factory IRs here, well, 132 I think. There are decent ones. And this was the weak point, by the way, in the first version, the Fractal Audio AxeFx I. I think the IRs, you had only 10 slots for third-party IRs, and built-in IRs were not that good. Okay, let's check out some of your favorite amps, maybe. Well, we have all channels of the JVM 410, I think. Okay, let's check out maybe the OD2 Orange. Because this is an amp which I own, and sounds a little bit similar to the Atomica. The real amp has a shitload of gain. I think you can hear the Marshall tone stack here. Nail it very well. Let's see if we reduce the gain. Still a lot. Okay. Green channel. Should be the same sound, just with less gain. To me, it's a really, really nice idea that they modeled the channels separately. Okay, what else? Brit Pre. That was something which I liked really much in the AxeFx I. It sounds a bit harsh to me here in that unit. Of course, it depends on the IR you're using. So here I would. It has a little bit more, a little bit tighter bottom. bottom amp, then the JVM, I think. What else? Well, the corn fed was also something which sounded very harmonic, as far as I remember. Let's see. Okay, maybe here we can use a little bit more highs. Okay, maybe I would have to boost this. By the way, the amp section here in the Fractal audio product it's very powerful. So you have, for example, in the preamp section, you have the ability to cut the highs coming from, or also the lows coming from the preamp going into the power amp. And for example, if your amp is using a lot of gain, but then starts to get flubby, you can cut the lows here way higher than you would do it after the power amp, and then it gets tighter without affecting the overall character of the tone. You can also cut the highs here. Okay, well, let's move on to maybe some of the more popular amps. Diesel VH4 is something which I personally like a lot, although I've never played the real amp, but from what I heard, it sounds really harmonic. It has a nice round lower mids. Doesn't have the harsh top end that the Marshall amps have. As you can see here, you have the blue version, the silver version, and channel 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the Friedman is also something which is very loud. Marshallish amp with a nice mid-range. As you can see, I don't do that much, but it sounds already out of the box. And where are maybe the Mesas? Here they have more channels of the JM preamp. Okay, Joe Satriani model. The Recto. There was one thing, the Recto 1 Red, I think. Maybe the first version of the Recto, as far as I remember. Of course, here people tend to boost it, so let's do that maybe with the traditional 808. And also you can change the tone stack here. So, for example, let's use the Recto 1 Red tone stack. And then it should react like the real amp, hopefully. So how do we set Rectos? Wow. Right switch engage. Okay, let's see, where do we have the... Oh, here we have the 2C+, okay, and 2C++, which was maybe the Metallica amp, which they got the hands on, modeled it. Okay, of course, 2C+, you would dial in the tone completely different, maybe crank the mids, because there's a pre-gain tone stack. And well, the key to the tone here is more or less the 5-band graphic EQ. So let's try to apply kind of a V curve. Okay, can get a little bit harsh here. The gain. Let's see how this thing sounds in a lead situation. Well, let's save this maybe to number 2 or number 3. Let's use number 3. Okay. But let's call it 2C++. Honestly, I don't think that there is such a big difference sound-wise to the Fractal Audio AxeFx III. When I got my AxeFx III, I remember playing it for the first time, and my impression was it sounds close to my sound in the 2, but a little bit more realistic or more balanced, so to speak. Closer to a real amp, I think. But the differences were not that huge, I would say. So the overall characteristic was similar, just it feels more, maybe more harmonic or more balanced, if that makes sense. And of course it comes with more effects and cabs and amps. But as I said, this unit has more than I'd ever need, I think. But I would like to check out the Peavey, which is one of my favorite amps. So where do we have it? Here, Peavey 6160, which is their attempt on the 5150, I think. But I thought that they had other models here. Maybe I'm confusing that with the version 3. Let's see if we can find out some other ones. No. So I cannot see the other ones at the moment, so maybe we have to stick with that. Lead. Ah, okay, yeah. They had the block ladder and the lead here, the plus. Okay, so let's see. Hope they set it to default here, which is good. It's tight enough for my taste, so doesn't need a boost. Okay, I'm calling that 5150, so I used that that name for all the 6505 pluses and 6505s and however these amps are called nowadays, but I still call it 5150. Okay, let's save it here on the 4. Yeah, so it's everything there which I would need, and I think if you cannot get a good tone with these amps and also with these implementations of the models, then you will have also a hard time with the AxeFx III or the newer DSP called Cortex. The unit is very easy to use in my opinion. Of course, the downsides of the AxeFx II are the poor user interface, which is slightly better in the AxeFx III, but not competitive to touch screens which come with the Headrush or the newer DSP, of course. But other than that, sound-wise, it's really still one of the top products. And I think there was also the floorboard version, the AX8, which I've never owned, but I heard it. Sound quality is the same like the AxeFx II. So if you can get a good price on that in the used market, then I think it's a no-brainer. What I found out is the battery, my Fractal Audio AxeFx I died, so all my presets are gone. Maybe I have to recreate them and shoot a new video with that unit. But other than that, I hope you like this, and please post your comments below what you think about these older units, Fractal Audio products or other units. And of course, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to my channel, which would be really helpful to make it grow. Other than that, see you.